Tony Goldwyn is about 85 miles east of Portland at Fort Dalles, Oregon, where his 3 times great-grandparents took refuge during the Yakima War.
How long did the war last?
You had another 3 decades,
Right,
really,
exactly.
of fighting over the West. But in this region, the fighting was largely over by the end of 1856.
So Nathaniel and Mary came here for protection for just a short period of time, and then they went back home.
By 1857, I think they might have felt safe returning home.
Now that the Indian threat seems to have died down, I was curious why Nathaniel and Mary Coe chose to settle in this wild place.
Well, I think a good place to go would be to the official record, things like land grants and probate proceedings, which you can find at the Oregon State Archives.
Great. All right. Well, that's where we'll go. Thanks for the help. Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was fascinating. Nathaniel Coe wrote this extraordinary passage where he says that the natural response of Aboriginal people when in the face of civilization is to melt away. And that's a pretty callous view of what happened to a lot of human lives. I think that human beings are complicated. My progressive great-great-great-grandfather, Nathaniel Coe, was perhaps not so progressive in his attitude towards Native Americans. We are about to arrive at the Oregon State Archives in Salem, Oregon. I'm meeting with Cynthia Prescott, an expert on the American West. I've asked if she could find any records relating to Mary and Nathaniel Coe. My 3 times great-grandparents went to Fort Dalles under threat of what they felt would be some danger from the Indians. But I'm just curious why they stayed when that was over and what was in it for them.
Well, sure. Let's take a look at the Historic Oregon Newspapers page.
Okay.
And this is scanned in images of newspapers from 100 or more years ago.
Oh, there we go. This is cool. The story of Nathaniel and Mary Coe.
Okay, so what this is pulling up for us is an article from the Hood River Glacier, the newspaper, from 1915. So this is going to be nearly 50 years after Nathaniel Coe's death.
So I should just read it. As fear from the Indians subsided, the farm work resumed. So they've left Fort Dalles to go back home?
Yes, it's just downriver from the Dalles.
The Coes agreed that Dog River was the fairest spot on Earth. Okay, so how old is Nathaniel by this time?
Nathaniel at this point is 67, 68 years old. He wants the farm to continue that he and his family had built.
So the family's together?
Yeah, now the Coe's kids by this time, their 3 sons are grown-ups.
Wait, did they have more children besides Lawrence?
It appears to be so, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And so they keep the farm running.
Got it. About the 1st of February, 1/2 acre was spaded up and put in garden, and no frosts came to destroy. Okay.
In answering your question of why did they stay in Oregon, because it's nestled in there among the Cascade Mountains and in the Columbia River Gorge, it's protected. They barely have any snow at all to deal with, whereas if they had stayed in upstate New York, wintertime we'd have to wait until May to be able to plant anything.
Okay, got it. The farm was made to pay dividends almost from the beginning. But when spring came, a trip to Portland was made by Nathaniel Coe, and farm implements and seeds for planting were secured. Pears, apples, peaches, cherries, plums, grapes, apricots, strawberries, gooseberries, currants, rose bushes, and many choice flowering shrubs were ordered. The detail that he goes into is pretty impressive about what crops. So he'd obviously done his homework. Should we read a little more?
Sure.
To Mrs. Coe belongs the credit of changing the name of Dog River to Hood River.
Produce from Dog River doesn't sound very appealing, but from Hood River evokes the majesty of Mount Hood.
They're trying to build something.
They're trying to establish Hood River as a place you would really want to buy produce from.
It takes quite a spirit of adventure when you have everything you could want to say, no, let's reinvent this and do something completely different. Wow.